Hi guys, welcome to We Built a Gym, episode 8. This week we're going to talk to you all about the coronavirus, COVID-19, how it's affected us, why we're worried about it, why we're not worried about it, and kind of what our plans are for the future and how to tackle it. And yeah, just give you an inside look into how it affects business as well as what everyone knows about how it's affecting obviously life and death situations.
And how many toilet rolls we have bought, more importantly. Just stockpiled them. But yeah, just make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos, guys. So obviously we love doing the podcast, and it's great to get those likes and comments just to keep everything engaged. We love it. We like it. If you like the video, and yeah, tune in and see what we've got to say.
Make sure you leave a comment as well. Often we get comments on videos asking for Amy to be in the podcast with us. So if you want Amy to be in the podcast for an episode, let us know in the comments. We're not really sure how that'd go because she doesn't know many words.
She's also flat out, so we don't know if we'd get free time with her and stuff. Anyway, the virus everyone's talking about. It's obviously it's been actually declared a pandemic. So big old serious issue. And obviously it's quite scary because it's all unprecedented for even the medical services, like National Health Service, all the other countries who are in lockdown. I actually have a client who's from Belgium, and all the gyms there have been shut down, let alone all the restaurants and everything like that. So it is, it's pretty serious, obviously.
I think that's probably a failing of mine and many people. I think I didn't think it was a big deal for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was joking, got the corona bottle there, joking around it for a couple of weeks, because you think if it's not affecting me, it's not a big issue. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and it was in China and Korea, and you're like, it's not going to make it over here, is it? And then Italy.
Lo and behold.
And the stuff now to see that obviously America's stopped people traveling from Europe, including the UK as of tomorrow, to see that every ski resort has shut down in Europe. All of that.
It's like a film, isn't it? It's literally like one of those pandemic films.
Like World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z, Contagion, The Happening.
How many of these have you seen?
Well, the funny thing is they're trending on Netflix. That's the worst thing. So everyone's clearly watching it like, oh God, this is what I need to do.
My favourite one is the one with Sandra Bullock. You know when she wears the blindfold? Because if you look...
Oh, Bird Box. Yeah. That's
that's
supernatural one, isn't it? But still...
that is my failing, is I just didn't think it was serious.
Yeah.
And I think what definitely helped me to be ignorant to it was people's reaction. So when we went into Tesco's a week ago and we're walking in to buy beer and people are walking out carrying huge rolls of toilet roll and bags full of toilet roll, I just thought it was hilarious.
It was funny. And you laugh about it. People stockpiling 48 packs of loo roll or whatever.
Well, and you're just
all the anti-back wipes.
If that's what we're doing, this can't be serious.
Oh yeah, exactly. And obviously you've seen all the memes and the jokes that have already been made about that. Is it going to make you shit yourself and all that? I hope not, because if it is, then I need to get some more toilet roll.
Clearly, if you run out of toilet roll, you just jump in the shower.
That's it. Shower. Newspapers. Go ask Chris Scott. I mean, what did he do when he had that?
In Bulgaria.
Yeah, that's it. The mystery meet in Bulgaria.
It's definitely more serious than I thought at the beginning. And from our standpoint as gym owners, we realised a while back, okay, we are going to have to be on this in terms of cleanliness, in terms of essentially speaking to members, having those awkward conversations.
That's it, yeah.
You're showing signs. We haven't really had that yet.
Literally the most close contact environment there could be. Gyms, and even stuff that's even closer than gyms, that physical contact and the sort of physical side of coronavirus is a massive worry. So you got to wash your hands.
Gotta wash your hands.
You dirty pig.
And wipe down equipment.
Yeah.
And all of that. And I think we are quite on our cleaning anyway. We clean the place top to bottom every day.
Got a rota.
We're not one of those gyms who once every few weeks makes a social media post bragging that they've cleaned the gym.
Yeah.
If you do that, that's pathetic. We clean the gym.
Where's your rota?
We clean the gym every day. We have a full rota of everything getting cleaned and who's doing it and what times. We feel like we're on top of it in that way. Also, I think our members are quite on it.
They're good, yeah, absolutely. People have been coming in. I've noticed literally the soap's been going down massively, using a bottle in a couple of days, which is good because even though we have to replace the soap, people are washing their hands. They're being proactive on it, which like that everyone's made that joke. It's like, were people not washing their hands before coronavirus? But
No.
it's just that thing, like we said, we were complacent about it. So, it's made everyone a lot more aware of these kind of things, like being in that close physical contact. You've got to make sure you're following the guidelines from WHO, and who else? CDC and all these other letters.
I don't know. You're just saying acronyms.
Just saying letters, yeah.
BBC.
Yeah. What else?
CITV.
Yeah, that's it.
The works.
CBeebies.
C.
Quality channel.
I watch a different channel, but it's not called CBeebies.
All right.
It's called C.
See, we won't ask about that.
So in terms of us, I think it'd be like helpful to say like how it's directly impacted us and maybe how it's directly impacted you. So obviously the main thing for us is that we can track is how many people are coming through the door every day, how many new membership signups we're getting, how active our members are on social media, stuff like that. Those bits of data we can track. In terms of members coming through the door every day, we're down about 10%.
Yeah, not too bad.
Which, the weather can make us down in 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
If it rains a lot, we'll be down 10%. So it's not like a huge drop where we're worried in any way. Our members are still being really active. We have a young member base for the most part, so they're probably less worried.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But even our oldest member, a guy called David, who's kind of mid-70s, he was in on Saturday. And
training hard.
Yeah, and he said,
washing his hands.
I probably shouldn't be here, but screw it. That's, I think, a good attitude to have, He wants to stay active, wants to be...
Yeah, you've got to live your life. Obviously, you can't just be shut indoors, Obviously, like other countries don't have the choice, which sucks. That's serious. But yeah, you've got to sort of go forth and do your stuff. I know a few of my clients have concerns about sort of if their gyms are getting cleaned or if their gym's going to shut down or their area might be more affected. But overall, I haven't had too much sort of backlash from it.
So you had that guy in Belgium who can't train.
Yeah, my client in Belgium, he's unable to train until the beginning of April just because they have shut all the gyms, which is a shame. So he's doing some home workout stuff. And everyone else seems to be okay so far. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, and I mean, it could literally unfold in the next couple of days from when this is released. But we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that everyone is as catered for as possible in this time. That's what we're doing, isn't it? We've upped the cleanliness, we've upped sort of awareness about the issue, and that's pretty much all you can do.
I think financially, we haven't seen a drop off. We've had a slightly slower month in terms of sign-ups, but you've got to think...
But whether that's COVID rates,
March, it's rainy, there's a load
New Year's
of
resolutions are well and truly down the pan,
Yes, yeah. So that could affect it, or it could be Corona, I don't know.
Yeah.
But nothing that we're worried about.
A lot of businesses will be getting smashed financially, though, won't they? Like restaurants, I know, like they're deserted,
Yeah, and the government's
supermarkets,
things, the government's provisions in the budget on Wednesday were fantastic. So basically the government got rid of business rates for the next 12 months, starting from April, the new financial year. And that's huge. So business rates are this thing that most people have probably never heard of. Basically, you pay business rates just to be a business. So because we're a business and we have a premises, we pay a lot of money every month to the council just to be here. That doesn't get us anything. It doesn't get us bin collections. We pay for that privately. It doesn't get us road maintenance. It doesn't get us internet. Like genuinely,
just allows you to be there. Yeah.
Nothing. It just allows you to exist. That's a lot of money. We're talking kind of 5 figures over the year, and they've wiped that out, which is great. It's amazing. And when it was happening, I was listening to it on the radio, and I was screaming at the radio like I was at a football game, going like, "Say gyms, give us the discount!" And they have. So that is really reassuring that we've got a bit of a financial safety net.
Yeah, for sure.
Our plan in the future is essentially, in the near future, to pass that on to our members. So to kind of add in some free stuff for our existing members, to add in some special offers for people who want to sign up but are worried financially about what may happen, so that everyone can benefit from that savings. It's not like the government have handed that out and we're looking at flights to the Maldives or Barbados.
Which we wouldn't be able to go on anyway because they've cancelled all the travel, yeah.
Oh, that's depressing.
Or will we? Yeah, and that's the kind of thing like smaller businesses, independent businesses can be looking out for, like government advice and sort of, I guess it's like relief in some areas or tax relief on certain things you can sort of get back when there are disasters. I'm going to call it a disaster. Just to add to the fear mongering, No, when there is a disaster or a huge issue like this, things like that to keep up with are a great idea for independent businesses like us. Obviously, I'm not like a business or whatever. Well, I kind of am. I am my business, self-employed. But there was a petition that had, I think it was well over 300k signatures when I last looked at it to get some sort of not like reimbursement, but it was like
essentially like sick pay.
Basically like sick pay, yeah, or something like that. Which I'm not expecting, but the fact that those things are out there and sort of to keep up with them, I think is a good thing.
Actually, that's really interesting. Is I think a lot of people wouldn't know that as self-employed people, you don't enjoy the benefits of employment.
Well, that's it.
And that is sick pay, holiday pay, all of those. You're out there working hard. It's why
you don't work, you don't earn money. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see an electrician taking random sick days. You don't see plumbers taking random sick days because you've got to be out there working.
I've even seen people like universities being cancelled, like all their lectures and all their exams, and they're like cheering about it. It's like you're paying however much money to be going there, and other people at work, if you're working in retail or whatever, funnily enough, they're not getting days off because they need as many staff as they can. So I think, it's not like snow, like a snow day or a snow week where people are like joyous to be snowed in. This is pretty much...
It's the end of days.
It is the end of days.
The four horsemen are riding.
The apocalypse. I mean, everyone's treating it that way, but it's definitely good to be like aware of those things, isn't it?
And I think that's kind of where we're at in terms of how we're fighting it, in terms of just being on it with our cleanliness.
Yeah.
What our plans are for the future in terms of how we can help people to keep training, keep exercising, because that's really important, and how it's affected us to date, but who knows what's going to happen.
And hopefully, it doesn't have a massive impact on the economy, both short and long term, like not just for us and our businesses, but for everyone else too, because the last thing you want is
a recession.
Exactly. Literally, could plunge that far as well, or things that go hugely up in demand and prices go all over the place, or whatever else. We'll just kind of hope that it get a pint,
that is interesting. Actually,
go to the Winchester and wait for all this to blow over.
When thinking about it, so they cancelled the Premier League and loads of other sporting events. That's when I started to really take notice, was when they were cancelling these major events that are going to cost the companies millions.
Literally millions, yeah. That's serious.
But I take some hope from the fact that they've suspended the Premier League until April the 3rd.
Like sort of beginning, yeah.
So it's like, okay, in April are we looking at it's done, we move forward. But then someone told me that Corona's not going to hit its peak until mid-May.
Till mid-May, June, yeah. I've heard that as well.
Great.
It's just about keeping up with it, staying up to date, like keeping yourself informed and, not being stupid with panic buying, stockpiling and, fear-mongering and sort of spreading misinformation, basically. Similar to other things in this industry.
Lesson for life. Don't be a moron.
There you go.
Just in all things.
We have another fun Q&A, I think, don't we? We have a few good questions, which we got over the past few days, which is cool. So we can answer those now.
So we put up a Q&A post, and we said we'd take the top 5. And by the top 5, I mean the 5 we like the most, and the ones we haven't answered before, because we got lots that we've answered before. Like who's your favourite member? How much money do you earn?
We're not answering that. We're not answering that. We're not answering that.
Tell us some gossip about Ben's girlfriend.
No, we're not answering that either. There you go. Go get some blondies, though.
M's Cake Kitchen.
Yeah,
I can recommend the Kinder ones. They're legit.
They're filth, yeah.
Q&A. Right, the Q&A. Number 1. What are your 2 rules for life? Very specific.
Veni, vidi, vici. No, I'm joking. I don't even know. I genuinely
Ben
don't
went
even know
to
what that
private
means.
school, so he speaks Latin.
Latin, of course. I genuinely don't even know what that means. What does it mean?
Does it mean I came, I saw, I conquered?
Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, it is genuinely that. 2 rules for life. I don't know how to say this without being unbelievably cringy and cliche.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
Dance like no one's watching.
No.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. Probably be true to yourself, and in terms of like your values and stuff like that. Couldn't have made that any cringier if I tried. And what else? Let's go with work hard, play hard. There you go.
Oh my God.
What are yours?
2 rules for life. 1, always have nice underwear and socks on. I think, especially in a career like ours, where you wear the same stuff a lot, you know, like athlete movement uniform or strength movement tops, you know, like the stuff that you can have say over, spend money on. So trainers, socks,
Your bed.
underwear.
Invest in your bed.
What, like where it is, who you share it with, or
Anything. Doesn't matter.
so I will frequently, kind of once a month, I buy a load of new socks, always white Nike ones, because they're just
You
crisp,
love those, don't you?
box fresh.
Whereas I'll wear like pineapple ones or whatever.
And underwear. So you've always got nice underwear on and nice socks.
Especially for after Weighty Wednesday.
Second rule for life. Again, you don't want to be cringe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's hard.
Really, just don't be a pussy.
Ooh.
I say that a lot, and I don't mean it in an aggressive way, but essentially, know your worth, know what you want to go out and go and get it.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's a career, whether that's a person, you know, whether you're interested in someone and you don't know whether to, don't be a pussy. Put it out there. What's going to happen? They're going to say yes or no. You want to try something, try it. What's going to happen?
I can vouch for you on that rule for your life for sure. Absolutely.
Don't be a pussy. I am not a pussy.
The next one we got, it was top 3 sportsmen or women ever, and that could be dead or alive. I will go first. I would say that my top 3 are going to be from sort of the 2 of the sports that I played in my life, and then one which I just massively respect. So first one was going to be Jonah Lomu, who has passed away, and he passed away a few years back, I think. Legendary rugby player, and he was sort of one of the first guys who brought real like muscle mass to rugby. Like just
He was just like a mutant, wasn't he?
Just
No
a
one knew what to
freak
do
on
with
the
him.
pitch. Literally, like would run through professional players, you know, which you just do not see anymore because everyone's huge. Even the wingers, centres. He really just brought that craziness to rugby and was just unbelievable to watch. Obviously, I couldn't watch him live because that was when I was far younger. But from what I've seen, caught up with, and researched on him, he was just awesome. So, huge inspiration there. And second would probably be Michael Phelps, obviously the most decorated Olympian of all time. And from that standpoint, you can just kind of respect it as he is the most decorated Olympian of all time. You know, and just a genetic powerhouse too, just
It's
built for swimming.
Things like his wingspan and stuff.
Wingspan and his foot
VO2
size
max
and just, all of that kind of thing. And he just clearly just went and just honed in on that and just went
What was
for
impressive about him is I remember like other swimmers coming to the fore. Like, do you remember Ryan Lochte?
it. Yep.
And people being like, that's it for Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he's done now, yeah.
And he still just battered them.
Destroyed him, yeah. And he just was consistently unbelievable for many years, you know, just crazy.
Number 3.
Number 3 would be strongman Brian Shaw. There are strongmen who have equalled or bettered Brian Shaw in terms of achievements, but he has an extremely varied list of achievements.
So is he like 4 times?
4 times world's strongest man, you know, a couple of Arnold classics, and amongst other things, you know, America's strongest man. But also just a really nice guy, nice, genuine guy, you know, a family man, and he sort of has stuck true to all his morals and values throughout his strongman career. Not to mention he has really good longevity in the sport, so, you know, being consistently good for many years, which I just respect in an athlete.
Again, if you look at him, I think I might be right. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Didn't he like win one, lose one, win one, lose?
Yes,
so that
exactly.
like that resilience to come back every time and
that I think that's what I respect most about him. You know, you'll see a lot of good athletes, not just like strongmen or whatever. A lot of good athletes do well for like 1-2 years, then they don't do as well, and then they just drop off the scene. You know, if you can have that resilience, that sort of longevity in whatever you do, you can get to some serious places.
Nice,
what are
good
yours?
3. My top 3 sportsmen of all time. I thought about this one for a while because it's a bit hard. My top 3, number 1, Tom Brady. I love American football. I'm not saying I'm like the biggest fan in the world, although I watch it every week.
Yeah.
But me and Tim worked at a camp in America that was in New England. So we knew a lot about the Patriots, and that was kind of 2006, 7, 8, 9 time when Tom Brady was really at his peak.
Yeah.
And if you look at Tom Brady's statistics, like, he is a freak. I might be wrong. He was picked really late in the draft. I think he was picked number 199th. And bear in mind, the best prospects go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So he was like, no one really wanted him. And he's gone on to be the best quarterback of all time. And it's not even close. Like, he's been to 9 Super Bowls in 20 years and won 6 of them.
Mad.
Like, it's insane.
Madness, yeah.
And it's not just that. Like you said about Brian Shaw, Tom Brady's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he has this habit of, like, welcoming new players to the team, but like, he invites them to his house and they have dinner with his family. Like, recently they had a player with the Patriots last year called Antonio Brown. Don't know if you heard of him. He's a bit scandalous, like, decent player, one of the most talented players in the league. I think he's a wide receiver, but he's really troubled off the field. Like, we're talking rape cases.
Damn, yeah.
And the Patriots took a punt on him, and even knowing all of that all these women were prosecuting him or trying to take him to court for that, Tom Brady invited him to his house, had dinner with his family. He stayed at Tom Brady's house. Like, everything you hear about him is that he's just an amazing guy, as well as being a freak.
Yeah, just mental.
Tom Brady, number 1. Number 2, Roger Federer.
Yeah.
Roger Federer, 20 majors. Again, unbelievably nice guy. Everything you ever hear about him.
Super consistent, and like, his career has been enormous, hasn't it?
Oh, he is class personified.
Been good for 20 years. Yeah.
He's not like, doesn't go out running his mouth.
No.
Doesn't.
He's a superb player, yeah.
Superb player. And number 3, again, a sport I'm not saying I know everything about, but basketball, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, that man is a monster. Isn't it ridiculous? Do you know he just took a year or 2 out and went and played professional Major League Baseball?
No, I didn't know that.
He just
That's
was
crazy.
Like, put the basketball down and went and
Just
signed
picked up
for
another pro
for a
sport,
Major League Baseball team just for giggles. So Michael Jordan,
Mad.
Again, his statistics are just freakish. The number of NBA finals he went to, the number of MVPs, the way that other basketball players talk about him.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of respect there.
Like, even though he was doing it, 20 years ago or whatever, people just still are so in awe of him.
He has that great quote too, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, like his quote about success and failure, and like highlighting just how many times he failed, but then how many times he succeeded because he was willing to take the risk. I think we've said that before about backing yourself, about taking a risk and seeing what happened. About,
the jumping off point.
Don't be a pussy.
Don't be a pussy.
Michael Jordan is no pussy. So yeah, those are my top 3. Next question. Now this is a bit of a cheat one. This came from Henry himself. Who will win at the Strongman competition, Ben or Henry? So Ben is competing against Henry, one of his best mates, at a Strongman competition. It's their first Strongman competition. When is it?
5th of April. If it
5th of
goes
April.
ahead. That's if it goes ahead and it goes as planned.
The Corona comp.
You can also go see Henry if you want to see what he looks like, this fine young man, in my latest video on the Strength Movement YouTube channel. We trained together, did some stuff, made some jokes. But if it goes ahead, I'm hoping that I will destroy him.
What are the events? Deadlift for reps?
You got axle floor to overhead, so the one where I dropped it on my leg. Deadlift for reps, farmer's walks, monster dumbbell press, and duck walks, which are
Is
silly.
the axle for reps or for
It's for
maximum
reps,
weight?
yeah.
So none of the events are about maximal load?
No. I would say that neither of the events suit, like neither of all of the events suit either of us fully. Like, Henry's stronger at one thing, I'm stronger at the other. So we'll see how it pans out, but I'm not going to go into it thinking that I'm going to lose to him, that's for sure. But the last time we bet against each other, and tried to call each other out and have some fun with it, we both bombed at the competition. So let's hope we don't have a repeat of that, that's for sure.
My prediction is you're better at axle. He's better at deadlift for reps, not for maximal load, but for reps. You're better at monster dumbbell. You're duck walks.
I am better at the farmers.
You're
Duck
better at
walks is a
farmers.
silly event as well. Like, who knows?
Okay, so
whoever doesn't fall over on duck walks is taking
So on
it.
that, I'm going to back you.
Love it.
But I love you, Henry, and I'm sorry. Next question. Has there ever been a point where you thought, shit, should we have done this?
Every day.
For me, I'm slightly neurotic, so I do tend to panic sometimes. But I often have moments like that towards the end of every month.
Yeah.
Towards the end of every month is when members who are leaving, you're seeing that data and you're like, right, those people are going, those people have joined. And I have that moment then, like, has this all been a fluke?
Yeah.
Have we just been riding our luck? Did we just...
Have we got complacent? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But what always reassures me, and this is one of those humble brags, is that we've been open coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
We have never had a month with negative growth. We have grown month on month
That's
on month.
bold. That's
Every
awesome,
month we have done better than the month previous.
That's good.
We had 1 month last year, April, when we remained literally even, balanced. It wasn't down, it wasn't up. And that gave me the kick in the dick that I needed. And May, the next month, was enormous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have it. What about you? Online coaching?
I have had that when I have had clients compete and it doesn't go the way myself and the client planned, whether that be external variables, calls on the day, things out of my control, things in my control. I'm happy to admit it doesn't always go to plan, doesn't always go 100%, but the idea is that you have that relationship with your client. You look at the data, you fix it and you move on and then smash it next time. But I look at myself after those, competitions where the client's disappointed, where I'm like, and it's
a focal point. You've been building
for it could be like up to a year towards a certain competition or event or whatever it is. And if it doesn't go well, that really stings. It drains me as well because I want my clients to do well. I'm super invested in them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. So I always end up, having some crisis over that. I step back. I'm like, should I be doing this? Do I know what I'm doing? Do I know enough? I need to put in more work. I need to put in more research.
But then you'll have a client who'll go to like an international competition
exactly
really well,
and smash it, and
like
I'll be there.
At Commonwealths and stuff.
But it's the same thing as you, just like kind of like that feeling of I don't want to get complacent. Like, got to keep going. So yeah, you're always going to have that. But I feel like the more you can learn from it, the better it's going to be.
Final question. What's that noise you guys always make?
Well, that one is...